welcome back to class. Of course, this is my typical plan thing that I usually have on computer. These days, of course, we've been out of school. Here we are here, and this is our plan for the rest of the time that we're here. So, looking at what's going on, pretty much you're going to have this plan here to where we're going to be doing 6.2 for 4 days, kind of talking about the small steps going up to it. Again, notice that it's broken into 4 pieces on something that usually takes about a day, maybe a day and a half to 2 days to teach. Actually, it's another one because it comes back here also. But what we're doing is we're breaking it into pieces so you can actually get the foundational stuff. And then we're going to go to 6.3 for that many days, and then we're going to go to 6.1 for a couple days, which is actually pretty easy to do. 6.5 isn't so bad, 6.6 isn't so bad, and then we'll be done by May 12th. At that rate, everything that you're doing is due on May the 19th. So if you want a grade for what your work is, I mean, maybe you don't finish this today, maybe you don't finish these, whatever they are, but whatever your grade is going to be is based off of where you have done on May 19th. So all your homework is going to be due on this day, and that way you can at least know your average. And it is going to be based off of the average that you have, so just work as hard as you can. In all honesty, as long as you try your best to make it through, then you'll pass this 4th quarter. So again, just make sure you're logging in, make sure you're watching the video, make sure you're communicating with me if you're having issues, and we'll go from there. Other than that, 6.2a is about substitution. Today is going to show you pretty much the very first step in a simple process. And again, it is a simple process, although it is a process that people get lost on. It is pretty easy to do. The first thing is, if you look at the problem, y equals 2x plus 3, 4x plus y equals 6. This is called a system of equations. And what this first equation is doing is it's setting y equal to 2x plus 3. So in other words, these two things are the same. And because they're the same, that means that we can swap them evenly, almost like if you're buying a shirt and the shirt is worth $10, you get the shirt as long as you give them $10. They get $10 as long as you get the shirt. So as long as they're equal value, you can swap them out. Because y is alone, we're going to substitute for y. So that's a question you're going to actually see on your computer problem later. Because y equals 2x plus 3, you're going to substitute 2x plus 3 into the second equation. And then be sure to use parentheses, because if you don't, it's not going to work on the computer. I'm going to go up and show you something that I use called the box and switch method. Since it's y equals 2x plus 3, I usually put a box around the y, a box around what it's equal to, which is 2x plus 3, and then I go to the other y and put a box down there. Now that is a good idea for you to use because it helps you visualize it. And what you're going to do is pretty much write this second equation, but you're going to swap. Remember, these two things are equal, so they can be switched out. So you're going to turn your y into a 2x plus 3 using parentheses. And the last thing you're going to do, because you have this plus sign right now isn't anything major, and so pretty much it just means you're adding them, but you notice that you have like terms, and so 4x and 2x makes 6x. Your plus 3 just comes out equals 6, and those are the steps that you're going to be stopping at today, because we're not going to worry about the solving portion of it. We haven't solved in a while. Plus, like I said, if you do know how to solve, you'd be fine after that anyway. But again, the general idea here is learning how to take this thing, switch out your y, write it using parentheses, and then put your like terms together. So this does represent your assignment today. Remember, you're going to be using this process in tomorrow's lesson, so as I go through the next 4 examples, make sure that you write any notes you need so that you can see what's going on. So what you're going to notice on your homework on the computer is that the first thing it's going to ask you is what variable do we substitute for? And of course, because y is alone, you're going to substitute for y. Now, it doesn't have to always be at the top. You're looking for a y equals equation or x equals equation. And so this y equals is going to be there. And so you have your y equals 3x minus 2. And then it's going to say, what are you going to substitute for y? And it's whatever it's equal to. That is where that box comes from. So since y is by itself, 3x plus 2 is here and it's equal to it, we're going to put that right there. So again, what you're going to do is go to the other equation, put your 6x plus this turns into parentheses 3x minus 2. Again, you're switching y for 3x minus 2, and then equals 8. And the last thing you do is put your like terms together. 6x plus 3x make 9x minus 2 equals 8. And again, that's where you're going to stop. Alright. Looking at the next one again. Here's your y equals. So this is what you're going to substitute for y. You're going to turn y into whatever it's equal to, which is 8x minus 1. And you're going to put that into this second equation here. So all you're going to do is write everything up to the y, so 2x plus. You're going to swap out y for 8x minus 1, and then equals 11. Then you're going to put these two things together. 8x and 2x make 10x minus 1 equals 11, and that is all. Alright. Now, there are some on your homework that are going to have more than just a regular y, but they're not too tricky as long as you remember a little bit about distributive property. Again, y is by itself. Y is equal to 4x plus 3, and you have this y down here. You're not plugging it in for 2y, you're only putting it in for y, so y is the only thing that goes into the box. When you write everything that's there, you have your 3x plus 2. Turn your y into 4x plus 3, and continue doing the same thing you did. The difference here is now instead of just combining terms, because there's a number outside the parentheses, you actually got to distribute. So 3x plus 8x plus 6 equals 7. Now you put your like terms together. 11x plus 6 equals 7, and that is it. Alright. So like I said, it's not too bad. Just make sure that you're ready for it whenever you see it, and again, make sure that you're communicating if there are any issues so that I can try to help you out. We'll talk about what that is in just a second though. And again, your y equals could be on the bottom, so this is your y. That's what we're plugging in for. We're going to turn it into 6x minus 9 because that's what it's equal to, and that's where we're going to put it. You then put your 7x plus 5 up to your y, which we're going to swap out for 6x minus 9 equals 4. You're then going to do 7x, and again distribute, plus 30x minus 45 equals 4. Like terms make 37x minus 45 equals 4, and that is all. So be sure to ask for assistance as you need. Be sure I can see your computer answers, or at least the work on your paper, but I do need to see your computer stuff because some of you have a tendency to write the question wrong or write the question the wrong way, and if you just simply show me the paper, it's not going to help me. So if you can, I need to see the actual computer part. So what I should see is the boxes with your answers in it, and then take a picture of that and email it to me if you know how to do a screenshot. If you don't know how to do a screenshot, then just use your phone, take a snapshot of it, and text that snapshot to my number here, and I'll reply as soon as I can. Again, as long as I can see the computer, I can help. I cannot help if I don't see work. What I can't help you with is if you text me with something that says, how do I do this? This question is answered here and throughout the video, so make sure that you don't ask me that. What you should be doing is trying it out, getting as far as you can, and then sending me something that says, what did I do wrong, so I can actually look at your work, see what's missing, see what should be there, what shouldn't be there, and then going on from there. Now there is a second video that you should be watching, and that's going to show you something about a online calculator, and it's also going to show you some of the questions that are on your homework. So other than that, go ahead and move over to that second video, and I will talk to you in just a second.